Hello, what do we have here? The Trans Neon Orange Mask of Fire. Strictly speaking, this is a rare mask, but thankfully it's incredibly cheap if you want to buy one. So let's learn the history behind this awesome LEGO piece and see how you could use it in your own LEGO creations. And then you can go pick up one for real cheap, add it to your collection, and have a good time. Let's dive in. So this is Tahu G2's mask in Trans Neon Orange, and in this color it only appeared in one set, and it was this polybag here that's called Bionicle Hero Pack Polybag. So inside it came with a few different things. The first one was a map of the island of Okoto, which is actually a really lovely and well-made map. I actually still have it displayed on my wall in my LEGO room, it's cool. It showcases the locations of the golden masks on each section of the island, and then the other side of the poster it shows off the normal masks and the golden variants of these masks as well. I really like this, it's a good little poster. On top of that you also get some other stuff like these stickers of the golden masks, and they have a very psychedelic color to them. It changes depending on how you look at them, it's very pretty. Then you get a little booklet with this small comic, instructions for how you can build this highly detailed and very difficult model, and then there's a few other pages of different things promoting Bionicle G2. That was kind of the main reason this polybag was made, to excite people and get them interested in Bionicle. But of course, the best parts of this polybag are this nice dark blue skull spider. It's always nice to get another one of these dudes. Get another one to possess your Toa, fantastic. And then yeah, you get the mask that we're all here for. So yeah, not a bad little polybag. Although the real standout here, of course, is this mask. This mask looks especially good in Trans Neon Orange, and actually it works on Tahu G2 very nicely. When we put it on him, we can see that he already had some Trans Neon Orange on his shoulders, so it integrates quite easily and quite well. So back in the day, this was a gift with purchase when you bought an item from LEGO.com or in physical LEGO stores. And this was available in both February and March back in 2015. You'd think because of the limited release of this and the fact that this mask only appears in the one set, that would make it expensive and super rare, right? I mean, you have the Bionicle Villain Pack, which is kind of like the antithesis of this one. That was also a limited release polybag, and it also has an exclusive recolored mask in it. If you want that one, it's like $40. Well, that's not the case with this polybag. If you want it, it's like $5 maximum. And that's in Australian dollars as well, so that's only about $3 US. And to be fair, I'm showcasing some of the higher prices for this thing here. You can get this for like 2 or 3 Australian dollars, which again, even less in US dollars. And if you just want the mask itself, well, it's like $1 or $2 in Aussie dollary doos. And in USD, that's like 60 cents. I mean, I think it's fair to say that this mask is rare. It only appeared in one polybag, and that polybag had that kind of limited release. But thankfully, it's super cheap. But I'm all for it. Heck yeah, we finally have an exclusive mask that's cheap. There are so many masks these days that are very overpriced, and it can get a little ridiculous sometimes. But finally, a very affordable one. Ugh, so good. So here's a comparison shot between Tahu's red variant of this mask and this Trans Neon Orange one. I mean, how nice is the Trans Orange mask? Up against a white background like this, the Trans Neon Orange looks beautiful. And then if you put it behind a headpiece, you can kind of see the head through the mask, and it almost kind of deepens the Trans Orange a little bit more, making it really look a bit more like fire. Plus, if you put a light behind it, it really starts to glow very well. So pretty. So that's pretty much it for this mask, but there is a very fun and interesting misprint for this mask. As far as I know, there's only one of these in existence, but let's show it. So back when Bionicle G2 was just debuting, certain LEGO members of the Bionicle community, they were sent free pieces so that they could build Bionicle creations with some of the new parts that would be introduced in Bionicle G2. Most of these pieces were going to appear in upcoming sets, but some of them were in interesting recolors that never actually appeared in later sets. Very exciting. But here's an image from DV that shows off some of the masks that he was sent. Take a look at the two Trans Orange masks here. The one on the left, that's the normal mask. The one on the right is the misprinted one. DVD describes this mask as having a solid blotch of red in the center. It's similar to other masks that you see out there that have that kind of like marbled coloration to them. This one is essentially red with a marbled Trans Orange color through it. And yeah, obviously no official mask exists that has this type of coloration on it. So this is likely just an error. And something else that's also important to note, a lot of the builders received this Trans Orange mask, but none of them received this variant here with the red in the center, which makes it seem much more likely that it's an error and not just something that LEGO was experimenting with and sent out as an early piece. But doesn't it just make for such a cool variant of this mask? I wish they actually made this. Very exciting, very cool, and very jealous of DVD for having something as awesome as this. Alright, but how could we use this mask in our own custom LEGO creations? Well, here's a mock that I made a while back that actually uses this mask. If we take a look up the top on the head here, we can see that a part of this hair design uses this mask. I think it shapes the head design very well, and I think it creates a nice little fringe for this hair. So hey, if you have one of these and you don't want to use it as a mask, maybe you could use it for a really cool hair design. But if you do want to use this as a mask, why not do what Gourd Builds has done here? It's awesome how he's used these Glatorian headpieces here in trans orange, and then linked them together and attached them to the head so that it kind of looks like there's this big line of flames stemming out of the head design. That's just such a fun idea, isn't it? The way it's been combined with this mask, it really looks like this entire headpiece is engulfed in flames, and those flames are sort of flaring off to the side like that. Super creative and super clever. Another option for this that is still a mask design, but it spices things up a little bit. This is a mock by Kevin H, and it's called Glacial Protector IP. So here we can see that the mask is being flipped, and it's used for more of a visor than an actual mask. I like that. It's very creative and it's very different as well. And it's a great way to make use of the fact that this is a translucent piece. You often see kind of like translucent visors on different sort of science fiction characters, so yeah, this fits right at home. And also, of course, the color scheme of this mock and this visor, it's very much a callback to the awesome classic space theme, Ice Planet, which is one of the coolest old LEGO themes. I love it. And yes, speaking of old themes, it's also really good to see the leg pieces and this head design underneath that visor. These are both using pieces from Galador sets, much like this one that you see here. Given the strange looking nature of some of those pieces and the kind of furry texture of these parts, including them here was such a good way to make this look like an alien character from some sort of science fiction fantasy world. Really great choice and the perfect way to combine it with this mask. And finally, a mock that I love so much. This is Tahu Lord of Fire by Brandon Builds. Using this mask to make it look like Tahu's whole body is engulfed in flames, like he's literally just become an elemental fire creature, that's genius. It fits Tahu so well, it looks like this awesome power-upped version of the character. Honestly, I can't think of a better way of using this piece. It almost feels like when LEGO designed this mask, they had this kind of mock in mind for it. Yeah, it almost feels like this piece was destined to be used on this mock. There's something very satisfying about that, I like it. Plus the way that Brandon has used all these different system fire pieces to really capture the look of this character, it's masterfully done. So good. Now look at that. So many great uses for this mask across so many different mocks, and it's a very, very cheap mask, and it looks really cool. Heck yeah! So yeah, if you don't have one of these masks, I recommend heading over to bricklink.com and grabbing one. It's hard to pass up when it's so cheap. So that's it for this rare parts video. But if you know of a rare part and you'd like to see a video about it, let me know about it in the comments below. And if you've ended up with some sort of ultra rare thing or a misprinted mask or a really cool piece and you want to see me do a video about it, why not submit it to the submission email that's on your screen right now? There's all sorts of crazy cool pieces out there, and if you've got a unique one, I'd love to see it and I'd love to do a video about it to document the history of awesome LEGO pieces. Anyway, that's all for now guys. Happy building and bye for now.